Good morning. As this is the official closing of the 2020-21 school year, I would like to start by acknowledging and thanking the Coast Salish people whose traditional territory Brentwood College School resides on. I express our gratitude to the Malahat and Cowichan nations. We value the opportunity to learn, live, and share educational experiences on this traditional territory. Welcome to our closing ceremonies for the 2020-21 school year. For the second time, and all vaccination rates going well, the last time via live stream. I can't believe we made it this far. For parents, family, and friends, I'm standing here on the amphitheater at the foot of Campbell Common. Unfortunately, normally there would be 1,200 people standing in front of me for this momentous occasion. Unfortunately, there's only a handful of people that are here today. But I want to be really clear, this is not the new normal. The marquee and the big top will be back. It seems cruel that today our students are huddled with their housemates in every corner of the campus and not here in front of us. But as we know, this pandemic does not make exceptions. But as we've done all year, however, we will make the most of this day and do our best. So let me start with a few thank yous. Throughout this now 15-month journey that spans 2 school years, our Board of Governors never flinched. The only thing our senior leaders received from them was support, affirmation, and trust. With 17 volunteers made up of old Brentonians and past parents, their connection with our school ranges back to the 1960s. And their commitment to keep our flame lit this year, next year, and 100 years from now never wavered. My first and heartfelt thanks goes to our governors. I'd like to also thank the Mill Bay and Cowichan Valley communities. Our rural oasis could have easily pushed back with a mass arrival of students from around the world. Instead, we are grateful that they chose to welcome back with open arms our students. The combination of natural beauty and kind, community-minded people make this one of the most magical places on earth. Next, our staff. With over 270 employees, Brentwood is the largest employer in the Cowichan Valley, and our staff remain loyal, committed, and positive. In a year where COVID anxiety impacted all of us, you can only imagine the increased pulse rate of our staff when 550 students descended on campus. But like our governors, they ensured that we delivered a safe and fulfilling experience, and their passion for our students only increased. For me personally, there'd be no other group of people that I would rather go to battle with than this group. My deepest gratitude goes to our staff. I'd also like to thank our parents. It takes a massive leap of faith to, during a global pandemic, re-enroll or enroll for the first time your child in a boarding school. Many of our parents watching today have never actually set foot on this campus. This day is largely dedicated to you, and we thank you for your willingness to join us on this adventure into the unknown. Your trust is precious, and we are grateful for your partnership. Thank you, parents. And finally, and most importantly, the students of Brentwood College School. The students are why we're here, and it's why we exist. Brentwood standards remain high for our students. Their behavior, their community-mindedness, their effort, and their kindness. As Nurse Decker always reminds us, all we ask of them is that they work hard and be kind. And I am very pleased to report just that. We knew that this pandemic would take a mental and physical toll on our students. So by getting them back together within our integrated community setting here on campus, we knew that this would perhaps be the best thing for their well-being. And as our head prefect, Jack Napier-Ganley, reminded us so many times, it's a heck of a lot better than Zoom. In so many ways, our students led the way. They quarantined for 14 days, some doing that twice. They dove deeply into all aspects of our school programming. They found ways to give back not only to the Brentwood family, but to our local community as well. They challenged, pushed, and cajoled us to be better. They put on masks, stood on dots, sanitized hands, and frankly, just got on with it. For all of these reasons and so many more, I have deep reverence for our student body. And there's no place that I'd rather be this year than with them here on campus. So with admiration and affection, thank you, students of Brentwood College School. Moving forward, as mentioned, we have over 270 staff members on campus. Most of them are like Steve Cowie. They stay for a long time, or in his case, for 44 years and counting. There's no plans for Mr. Cowie to retire. Unfortunately, we are bidding farewell to a few of these staff members, and I would like to take a moment to acknowledge their service. Residential faculty assistants, or RFAs, Andrew Fisher and Gary Hughes, departed earlier in the year, with the former uniting with his fiancée in South Africa, and the latter becoming the head of boarding at a new school in the Okanagan. Old Brentonian Sam Pierce joined us as an RFA for the final 6 months of the school year. And I know she enjoyed being back and having bonus time on her forever home here in Mill Bay. Beth Mullen joined us as a highly competent and committed English teacher and returns with her family. That includes her husband, Andy, who is one of our cross-country coaches, Ellis House's Will, and would-be grade 8, Ben, to the international school life in Singapore, and we wish them well. Our boatman for the past 2 years, who's also covered RFA duties in Rogers House, Drew Edwards, returns to Vancouver where he's able to reconnect with his family and loved ones, and we thank him for his service. Mandarin teacher Fang Sun will take a year's leave of absence to pursue a business interest that she has, and we look forward to her return in September of 22. I would also like to acknowledge a newly formed COVID-19 specific health team in the Woodward Health Center this year. As the pandemic winds down, there is less need in this area, and many will move on now. From testing, reassuring students and parents, they were definitely on the front lines of our COVID-19 response. And I want to personally thank Brigham Smith and the rest of his team for their professionalism and leadership. Tristan Clausen leaves us after 6 years of English and music teaching. His passion for his students will be missed, and we are so pleased that he'll be quite local to us here. He's taken a full-time role at St. John's School in Shawnigan Lake. While Oliver Emile has taught for 10 years at Brentwood, his connection to the school goes way, way back when he arrived in 1991 as a grade 8 boarder. Mr. Emile is a superb chemistry teacher, passionate coach of rugby and rowing, curator of our strength and conditioning program, creator of our current advisor curriculum, and proud member of Whittle and Allard. He moves to a head teaching role at Queen Margaret School in Duncan, and we wish him well. As he moves on, I know his heart will always be here at Brentwood, and we commend him on his change and wish him well on his next adventure. And finally, Marcy McLean. If you've ever seen Marcy McLean in a Marcy McLean event, you know that the preparation, attention to detail, and extremely high expectations she has for her students is amazing. The result, of course, is world-class experience for us all. Starting out as a Brentwood parent of Amanda and Nicholas, she began coaching tennis, then became the head of tennis, then SAC coordinator, and then finally as overseer of our Interhouse competition. When she took over our weekend activities, she elevated the experience not just to the next level, but 10 rungs above that, 10 levels. From welcome back mixers to Java Hut to our final event, Fun in the Sun, our students have been the beneficiary of her passion and leadership. Trust me when I say, if you want something done, just give it to Marcy and you'll see what happens. She now enters blissful retirement that will involve a rigorous regime of tennis and travel with her husband, Cameron. Marcy will be missed, but never forgotten. Please join me in thanking all these departing staff members. We'll now move on to greetings from the board. Mrs. Karen Peary has been on the board for 20 years, and in September 2020, she became chair. I think it's interesting timing that she became chair during a pandemic. She must have drawn the short straw. Karen, however, is always up for a challenge. Her passion for continuous improvement, commitment to our strong academic program, and belief in our boarding tripartite philosophy make her uniquely qualified to lead our Board of Governors. As previously mentioned, this group of volunteers set a leadership tone of steadiness and support that has led us not just through this pandemic, but nearly a century of success. To bring greetings from the board, please welcome Old Brentonian from Alex House 1981 and Chair of the Board of Governors, Mrs. Karen Peary.
Thank you, Mr. Patel. As Chair of the Board of Governors of Brentwood College School, it gives me great pleasure to be here on behalf of the entire board to welcome you to this closing day ceremony. We are very, very proud of all the students, the faculty, and the staff, and how they have weathered the storm of this turbulent time, having tolerated endless travel and health restrictions and multiple sessions of Mr. Sullivan's Camp Brentwood. It has not been a normal year, but through it all, you, the Brentwood students, have shown remarkable fortitude and resilience, and I hope that as a community, you've also had some fun along the way. To the grade 12s, congratulations. Congratulations for reaching this exciting milestone in your lives after 12 years of dedication to your learning. And congratulations for successfully navigating your final year of high school in this strange and probably frustrating year. You may not have had every event that you wanted, and you probably missed the live performances and the competitions and the opportunities to wear the Brentwood colors proudly against other schools. But all the experiences this year, you've had them together. This is a family and a community that you will never forget. Move on to your next adventures, knowing that the whole Brentwood family is there for you whenever you need it. Congratulations, and may you continue to live your lives with grit and joy.
Thank you, Mrs. Peary, and the rest of our Board of Governors. Now, to make a special presentation that will impact future Brentonians, I invite to the podium the always buoyant and positive manager of our Student Impact Fund, Tracy Arden. Tracy. A smattering of applause.
Thanks, Bud. Good morning. Under the leadership of Brentwood's grad class sponsor, Aaron Stevens, and grad class president, Jocelyn Perkovic, the grade 12 students held a number of successful fundraising events throughout the year in support of the grad class of 2021 endowment fund. This fund will provide financial aid in perpetuity to a future Brentwood student. I'm delighted to announce that this year's graduating class raised $15,250, setting a new record for a total amount raised by any class in Brentwood's history. These funds, together with donations received from our grad class parents, have brought us very close to our goal of $100,000. This year alone, 27% of Brentwood students receive financial aid in order to attend Brentwood, thanks to our class endowment and other bursary funds. Thank you to everyone who has supported this important initiative. I would now like to invite Jocelyn to present our head of school, Mr. Patel, with a check from the students. Congratulations to the graduating class of 2021.
Thank you, Mrs. Arden and Jocelyn and grade 12 parents and our graduating class for this amazing gift that will pay it forward to future generations. Received via email from Mr. McPherson the closing day program in PDF form, where we have once again included information from all aspects of our school programming. And I encourage you to review these highlights. This was arguably the most unique and challenging year in our school's history. As is often the case, at times of adversity, true character quickly surfaces. Preparation is one of Brentwood's primary characteristics and was early on something that we leaned on. But with so many unknowns, how does one plan? From the arrival of over 500 students from around the world, to physically distanced academics classes, to serving 700 meals per sitting, to creating COVID-safe boarding program across the entire campus. A year ago today, I will admit, we had no idea what September 2020 would bring. We were boxed in by government officials, health experts, restrictive international travel, staff expectations, and perhaps most importantly, student needs. Fortunately for our community, Mr. Sullivan managed to get government approval for our return to a full boarding program. Ms. Mertland negotiated an exemption with the Ministry of Education to allow us to cohort based on sister-brother houses rather than by grades. Mr. Shadlock and our operations leaders prepared COVID safety protocols across every square meter of this campus. Mr. Johnson and the admissions team assured and reassured incoming students that there would be something that they could look forward to, even though at the time we had no idea what that something would actually look like. With lower enrollment due to physical distancing and density limitations and increased staffing requirements to ensure we had the capacity to safely operate a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week boarding program, Mr. Burton carefully managed the school's finances. And throughout the journey, Mr. McPherson guided our communication strategy so that our parents, students, staff, and local community were fully aware of the comings and goings of Brentwood College School. Sounds easy, right? Unfortunately, it was never a straight shot, a layup, or an easy A. Roadblocks, delays, and reversals were constantly flung into the mix. Someone said early in the pandemic, it was like flying a plane while building it at the same time. And while that analogy is pretty cool, I think one for us is even more poignant. Or better put, I think, it was like having writer's block the night before a 2,500-word essay is due. So like all diligent Brentwood students, we pulled an all-nighter. Well, maybe not just one, it was more like 150 successive all-nighters. With plans now in place, a bleary-eyed team headed to the McNeil's Cafe for an espresso bath, and we are off to the races. The goal was clear. Supported by a committed community of students, staff, parents, governors, and health officials, use appropriate mitigation strategies to create a safe return to our on-campus, in-person, face-to-face boarding tripartite program. However, 2 sliding scale questions remained unanswered and in need of clarification. What level of commitment were we expecting from our community? And what exactly were these appropriate mitigation strategies? Well, let's answer the latter question first. Appropriate mitigation strategy, what would that look like? Well, they started out like this, and then we had more information, we ripped that up, then it shifted to this, then our favorite word of the pandemic, we pivoted to this, and the final result is actually what you see on our website. And given that today is June 11th, 2021, and that we never lost one day due to COVID, I think things worked out pretty well for us. The former question had less oscillation. In fact, the cement around this word commitment hardened over time. It became clear that making it through this school year required a depth of character, positive outlook, an attitude of gratitude, and a deep commitment to grit and joy. I am pleased and proud to report that our school, while not perfect, dug deep, and demonstrated a supreme amount of resilience. So let me put it in a way that perhaps we can all understand. Whether you're a teenager, millennial, Gen Xer, or boomer, when you're young, we're all in search of the magical elixir of coolness. We want to be cool, we want to be around people that are cool, and we want to do cool things. Well, here are 3 cool things that I think defined the 2020-21 school year at Brentwood. The first one was revealed to me in late October when Ms. Mertland presented at our annual Brentwood TEDx conference, and yes, we did do our annual TEDx conference. Entitled Craving Normal, her TED Talk provoked us to consciously think about normal and encouraged us to deeply understand how it makes us feel, how it grounds us, and how it centers us. It was a mantra that the COVID team drew on during our 150 consecutive all-nighters. We knew that this pandemic threw normal overboard and replaced it with disbelief and unease. So we worked tirelessly to make sure that we had a school year as normal as possible. Yes, we were hindered by external forces, and yes, we understood that we had the cloud of COVID hanging over us. However, we knew in our heart and in our soul that if we were able to provide this sense of normalcy to our community, it would help. Normal is the new cool. The next finding is connected to having a sense of normalcy. The pandemic created worldwide chaos to a level some would argue that has never been experienced before. In the most globally connected era in human history, COVID-19 instantaneously halted political, economic, and familial integration. No more travel, no more trade, and no more hugs. For decades, we've been asking students to get off their phones and devices, get outside, and connect face-to-face with someone else. We know that's better for them. But in an instant, we reversed course and demanded that they get on their phones and their devices, stay inside, and never connect face-to-face with anyone, including members of their own family. This oscillation from one extreme to the other is like seeing an EKG of someone perhaps, let's say, having a heart attack. Ouch, perhaps that's too soon to make that comparison. 4 stents later in here, and I feel great. And thanks very much for everyone for their support. Our attempt to create as normal a school year as possible, we hoped, would mean that there would be moments of blissful and awesome boredom. No big swings, no ups and downs, no highs and lows, no in-class one day and Zoom the next. Instead, there was steadiness, calmness, and a rhythmic heart rate of 58 beats per minute. Just outstandingly boring. So chapter 2 of our trilogy of coolness, boring is the new cool. The final and perhaps most poignant phrase, at least for me, came from a conversation I had with one of our governors in April of 2020. As we were commiserating about the early days of the pandemic, she said something that stuck with me. The biggest challenge for most of society, she said, was not knowing when this would be over. When would we return to normal? When things would be back to the way they were? It was the uncertainty that was the biggest weight hanging over many of us. In fact, she went on to say, if I knew that I would be working on Zoom for the rest of my life, I would adapt, create new routines, and be able to move forward. It was the uncertainty that was the most discombobulating. Uncertainty is seriously challenging, especially related to any major life changes. Getting married, having a baby, moving from your childhood home, or sight unseen joining a new high school, or graduating from a place that has been your security blanket for, if you're a Brentwood lifer, 1,375 days. The COVID-19 pandemic has amplified feelings of uncertainty. So what's the solution or antidote, or dare I say vaccine, for uncertainty? A school year of certainty. From our commitment to return to campus learning, to knowing that Monday at 8:15 I have science, English, or history. And on Tuesday afternoons I have rowing, rugby, or tennis. And Wednesday there's robotics, dance, or pottery. And Monday house meetings, and Saturday number one inspection, and Sunday brunch. During a time of historical uncertainty, Brentwood safely injected our community with the vaccine of certainty. So there you have it. With certainty now being also cool, the triangle of coolness, and I just made that up, is now complete. Normal, boring, and certain. A simple combination of strong, steady, and stable. What more do you want during a pandemic? What more could I ask for? So Brentwood, I thank you for your commitment, and I thank you for your positivity, and I thank you for something even more precious, your trust. As head, it has been an honor to have been alongside you during every sunrise and every sunset of this historical year. Thank you. Now it's my great honor to invite our head prefect to come to the podium. He started his his journey at Brentwood a long, long time ago. So he is known as a lifer, or some would call him a super lifer. However, in my eyes, he's a super duper lifer. Since infancy, Jack has run on the fields, shot hoops in our gym, and had snacks in Crooks Hall. And more importantly, he's engaged us all with his genuine smile. We have literally witnessed this young man grow from toddler to school leader. His progress continued this year when he took over the unenviable task of leading us through this most unusual year. Always with a smile, an unquenchable work ethic, and his trademark authenticity. I often comment that the happiest, most productive, and highest achieving students are not those that take the easy path, or opt out, or quit. Excellence comes from the busiest and most engaged. As a strong academic, lead in the musical, 3-sport star, and proud Ellis House man, Jack embodies what Brentwood stands for. Work hard and play hard, and grit and joy. There's no other person I would rather have by my side this year than Jack. I will miss him, and I'm proud of him. And I'm honored to invite him for the final time to address you as our head prefect. Brentwood, I give you Jack Napier-Gadling.
Thank you very much, Mr. Patel, for those kind words. It's starting to get a little weepy in here. The Ellis boys can tell you that last night in the house it was a bit of a mess for me, so we'll try and keep the tears away today. But first of all, I wanted to extend a warm welcome and thank you to everyone who was able to tune in today. No matter if you're near or far, I appreciate all the families and friends who are able to take part in our closing ceremonies. Believe me, it's not the closing ceremonies that little grade 8 Jack dreamt of, but I'm super grateful that we were able to make it happen, because as anyone can tell you, it's the most important day in the Brentwood school year. Now, initially I was tempted to take the Miss McLean approach to my final speech today and say whatever I wanted, like, for example, voicing my opinion on Saturday classes, but because I too will soon be retiring from my role at Brentwood College, but unlike Miss McLean, my sister still goes here, my parents both still work here, and Mr. Patel knows where I live. So in short, there will be no escaping to the lovely beaches of Spain for me. Instead, I thought I would stick to my guns and attempt to share some wisdom by way of a thoughtful quote. I found this one to be fitting since it comes directly from the movie that our grade 12s picked for our senior movie night this year, which was Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Now, while I certainly do not condone any of the behavior that took place in this film, I really appreciate the advice that Ferris gave us. Life moves pretty fast, Ferris explains. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it. Now, I want everyone to keep Ferris's words in mind for the next 10 minutes, and I hope to tie this all together in one way or another. This is the point in the speech where everyone in the audience would raise their hands in response to the rhetorical questions I'm about to ask. But none of you are here today, unfortunately, so I'm just going to imagine the 1,200 people in front of me doing exactly that. First of all, who remembers when we all had lice? Everybody. Got it. I knew it. Who remembers when we had a COVID scare and the Brentwood pause? Everyone again, just as I expected. Finally, who remembers when Mark, Tommy, and Jacob blessed us with an original piece at Java Hut? Everybody, of course. Who could possibly forget? Though these events, whether they were good or bad, were what consumed our thoughts those evenings, those days, or even those weeks. They were the talk of the town at that point in time, but now they're things that we look back on, we laugh about, and for some of them, we even miss. My point is that all of these events happened months ago, and while having lice seemed like the end of the world at the time, I know that I would go back to those frantic weeks full of funny-smelling shampoos and people wearing garbage bags on their heads just to buy myself a little more Brentwood time. Fortunately, the majority of you on campus today still do have more time, and I wanted to offer you some advice for your remaining years here at Brentwood. First, to the grade 8s. So much more is coming next year than you could possibly expect. What might have seemed important to you, for some of you this year, will be completely forgotten when you return in September. Your class will triple in size, and all of a sudden, winning in PE will seem far less important than making new friends while balancing a far more challenging academic, artistic, athletic, and social calendar. You have so much growing to do, so try and make the most of everything this tripartite program has to offer you, and I promise you will have little regret. To the grade 9s. Your first year of high school has been a curious one for sure. It has been hard for you to get to know your peers from outside of your boarding house and your cohort, and I know that, or I certainly hope that none of you have been in another house's common room yet. There's so much more to Brentwood that you have to experience. Open houses, showcase games, in-person performances, fun and games, end of summer bash, and many other events still remain new to you all. I have no doubt that you'll make the most of these opportunities to get to know your out-of-cohort classmates better, and I sure hope that you have a great time doing it. Grade 10s. You're a funny bunch. I have gotten to know many of you well over the last 2 years. Of course, it helps when many of you are good friends with my lovely little sister, but also because you are such a friendly group of kids who love to learn and make themselves better in a variety of fields. I'm sorry to say, however, that the fun and games are over. You're senior students now, and with senior lunch comes responsibility. Lots of responsibility. So enjoy the opportunity you have to make a big impact on the school through your leadership and your service to others. And to the 11s. You really have no need to worry. I remember being in your position last year and wondering how in the world we were going to run a school without last year's graduates. But sure enough, 2 days into orientation, those questions and thoughts had been swept away by everything else going on in the school. Remember to be inclusive, be outgoing, and be kind to everyone. As Mr. Snow told our chemistry class at the beginning of this year, your job as a prefect is to take care of your little brothers and sisters. So do just that, and everything else will come easily. The grade 12s all have so much confidence in you, and we can't wait to see what you accomplish in the future. But make sure to enjoy it, because it goes by pretty quickly. Grade 12s. You guys have been unreal. There really isn't a group of individuals I would rather have shared the field, the stage, the court, and the classroom with for the last 5 years. I can't thank you enough for all the support you provided me as teammates, classmates, and friends over my time here. We're a class with the potential to produce neurosurgeons, professional musicians, educators, athletes, and yes, Callum, possibly a prime minister one day. There's nothing I want more than to see each of you succeed, because if there's one thing I've learned, it's that you deserve it the most. Enjoy yourselves in the future, work hard, and I know for certain that there are great things coming your way. I also wanted to take this opportunity to say a few thank yous to some people who played a significant role in making our Brentwood experience incredible. First, to the maintenance, health center, admissions, school store, laundry, food services staff, and many others for the hard work you have done behind the scenes. This year has helped me realize how much you really do for us students, and I promise you it doesn't go unnoticed and certainly does not go unappreciated. To all of our coaches, directors, and instructors, you enhanced this tripartite program more than you could imagine. And the power you have to positively influence us young athletes and artists is infinite. Keep encouraging and teaching because we all appreciate your hard work. To all of our teachers, and especially to every teacher who has had the misfortune, we'll say, of dealing with me at some point in my time here, I can't thank you enough for all the patience you showed. The students are so lucky to have teachers who care so much about us, and this year has put extra emphasis on exactly that. Thank you for the constant support and commitment to our development. To our house parents, and especially to my house parents, Mr. Sullivan, Mr. Wismer, and Mr. Barrett over the years, thank you for the sacrifices you have made so that we can have the best possible high school experience. Thank you for your not-so-COVID-friendly hugs, for your commitment to our growth, and for always, when we need it, keeping us in line. Now, if I can indulge in a few personal notes, I'd like to thank the Patels for all the guidance from the start to the end. Thank you, Mrs. Patel, for setting me straight as a little 8th grader, and for always checking in ever since to see how I'm doing. Thank you, Mr. Patel, for supporting me all this time, and for everything you've taught me about perspective, leadership, and life this year. It has been an absolute pleasure working alongside you. Thank you to my friends who have put up with me over the years, but to a special 3 in particular, who I wouldn't be the same without. Abby, who's been one of my best friends for 14 years. Eric, who quietly tolerates the mess I leave in his room each and every day, and for all the academic courses he's helped me through. And finally to Alice, for everything over the last 2 years, for being far smarter than me, and for always making me laugh and offering a shoulder to cry on. I know I'm going to need it at some point today. Finally, and most importantly, I want to thank my family for everything they have given me in my time here. To my grandparents for all the support and countless drives over the Malahat to soccer practice. To my incredible little brother Jay for being a huge motivating factor in my life and for inspiring me every day to make the most of the body and mind I've been blessed with. To my little sister Jensa for always pushing me to be better. We both know neither of us are going to be the favorite child. That's always going to be Jay's title. So the race for second place will always be intense. Without you there to keep me moving in the right direction, I wouldn't be where I am today. I can't wait to see you flourish in your remaining 2 years at Brentwood and in the rest of your future. Finally, to Mom and Dad, I can't thank you enough for everything, for every opportunity you've given to me and the rest of the family for the last 18 years. Having both of you as teachers here has given me the unique opportunity to sometimes literally have you there every step of the way. But it's also made me lucky enough to be able to have the 2 of you here today. I know I may be stubborn at times, and my room is really messy, and I rarely clean the pan after I make my eggs in the morning. But no matter, you always will be there for instruction, guidance, love, and support. Aside from leaving the frying pan dirty and the clothes on the floor of my room, in everything I do, I try to make you 2 proud. I love you guys so much, and I can't thank you enough for everything you've done for me. If there's one thing the last year has taught me, is to appreciate what's right in front of you, and to be present in the moment with the people you care about. Because life at Brentwood moves pretty fast. And if you don't stop and look around once in a while to appreciate the people, the places, and the things around you, you will certainly miss it. Promise me, Brentwood, you won't let that happen. Thank you for the best 5 years of my life. It's been an absolute honor to serve as your head prefect this year. And I wish you all the best of luck, health, and happiness wherever life takes you. Thank you for everything.
Yeah. Good job. Woo. Wow. Good luck following that, Miss Mertland and Mr. Wardrop. Woo. Thank you, Jack. That was amazing. We'll move on to the academic awards and heads awards. So today, Ms. Mertland, Deputy Head Academics, and Mr. Wardrop, Director of Teaching and Learning, will present academic subject prizes for all 5 grades. In advance, we thank them for their considered and student-centered leadership that helped our students navigate this very strange COVID-impacted learning year. They also should be commended for so impressively supporting our instructional leaders and teaching faculty. It has been a strange year, and their support and their leadership has been amazing. So over to you, Ms. Mertland.
Thank you, Mr. Patel. Good morning, everyone. We are really here. It's June 11th. When I think of the uncertainty of last summer and how we would pull this grand experiment off, it's quite something to be standing here today ready to recognize excellence in the past school year. You followed protocols that no one dreamed would be necessary back in March of 2020. You were willing to do whatever it took to stay on campus for in-person learning. You sat with the same people for classes, for meals, and for events. Group work took on a new meaning when it was always with the same people. The resilience shown to get the job done will be considered legendary and now part of the Brentwood College School story. 30 years ago this month, I graduated from university to begin my teaching career. And at the time, there was a lot of talk about how technology was going to make teachers redundant and students would be able to just use computers to learn. Well, as much as technology has impacted how we access information and organize our lives, this last school year has shown how vital it is for the connection between adults and students in schools to create those memories of an amazing learning experience. I want to take this opportunity to thank all the staff who worked so hard to keep us safe, fed, clothed, and inspired in a beautiful setting to make this year happen. Last week, we were able to acknowledge the accomplishments of many students during our internal awards ceremony. Some of the names of students were missed, so we would like to take a moment to recognize those who also earned academic colors, arts colors, or athletic colors, as well as service awards. There were additions to the triple colors winners as well, so we congratulate Avik Bakshi, Olivia Barsh, Rasheen Buckley, Olivia Sass, Alice Smith, Nazar Sun, Maddie West, Jake Wooldridge, and Bonnie Zhang. We now move to the subject prizes and heads awards announcements. The awards will be read alphabetically by grade. For students, because you're not sitting here in front of us, names of the winners will be announced, and I ask that at the end of the ceremony, you come to the McNeil Center to collect your awards. They will be organized by house for pickup, followed by a grade photo with the award winners. Be sure you're in impeccable number ones, please. We're going to begin with the grade 8 prizes. The grade 8 subject prize winners are Finn Dahlstrom, Social Studies 8. Julia Doller, Science 8. Ruby McDougall, French Immersion 8. Lachlan McKinnon, Physical Education 8. Jasper Mottershead, Math 8. Jack Shortis, Art Rotation 8. Grace Stegel, French 8. And Bryn Wenhart, English 8. Congratulations to our grade 8 winners. We will now continue with our grade 9 class. With many of the subject prizes, there is a student who was selected as a runner-up. These will not be announced during the ceremony today, but will be listed in the program that will be sent to you following it. Academically, the grade 9 year is marked by the Metamorphosis 9 program. Hearing the excitement as design challenges unfold draws many staff and other students to windows and outdoors. My favorite is always the boat challenge in the fall. The grade 9 award recipients are Jillian Duda, Spanish 9, Phoebe Killam, Math 9, Emily Lee, Beginner's Mandarin, Heads Arts Award, Davis Lefebvre, Metamorphosis 9, Spanish 11, Heads Academics Award, Nerva Megavan, Immersion French 9, Simret Sarau, French 9, Metamorphosis 9, Heads Academics Award, Elliot Shepard, Heads Academics Award, Florence Terrian, English 9, Mandarin 11, Edith Wong, Metamorphosis 9, Heads Arts Award. Congratulations to our grade 9 winners. I'll now call up Mr. Wardrop, who will present our grade 10 and 11 award winners.
Exploration is the theme for our grade 10 students, and our students are encouraged to take risks scholastically, artistically, and athletically as they work to discover their true passions and interests. It's my pleasure to announce the prize winners to our grade 10 students. Starting with Camille Amahed for Heads Arts Award, Avik Bakshi, AP Seminar, Social Studies 10, Heads Academics Award, Felicity Burrs, Pre-Calculus 11, Heads Academics Award, Ariel Chiam, Pre-Calculus 12, Ty Dahlstrom, Math 10, Heads Academics Award, Jack Doler, Science 10, Spanish 10, Dylan Gage, Heads Athletics Award, Alana Harrison, Spanish 10, Heads Athletics Award, Heather Lamb, Beginner Spanish 10, Heads Academics Award, Heads Arts Award, Hazel Ling, Mandarin 12, Heads Academics Award, Thomas McDonald, Science and Ethics 11, Heads Academics Award, Heads Athletics Award, Neve Martin, Design 11, Social Studies 10, Lucy McAllister, Heads Academics Award, Jensen Napier-Ganley, Heads Athletics Award, Miranda Navarro Perez, French 12, and AP Seminar 11. Maxine Pollock, English 10, French 11, Introduction to Business 11, Heads Academics Award. Athena Romano, Heads Arts Award. Noah Satuski, French 10. Lily Schmidt-Engelberts, Heads Athletics Award. Jacob Smythe, Coding Python 11. Tavanumita, Mandarin 10. Congratulations to those grade 10 winners. Now, grade 11 at Brentwood is considered to be the commitment year. Although it's the first time when our students can choose to include a study block in their academic schedule, most continue with a 6-course load alongside their sports and athletic endeavors because they're keenly aware that the choices they make will not only set the stage for grade 12, but also their post-secondary pursuits. Award winners in this year are Peju Edalasoye, Heads Arts Award, Joshua Anzeret, Heads Academics Award, Lene Bradley, AP US History 12, Nicole Chan, AP Computer Science 12, Heads Arts Award, Robin Cole, Heads Arts Award, Michaela da Cruz Griffin, Heads Arts Award, Martina Dominic Valcels, Nicholas R.B. Prouse Prize for 20th Century World History 12. Alec Dorward, Heads Athletics Award. Anna Draper, Heads Arts Award. Lucinda Gullison, AP Comparative Government and Politics 12, Heads Academics Award. Kira Jacobs, Entrepreneurship 12, Foundations of Math 12. Amber Lees, AP Research and Comparative Cultures 12. Jocelyn Lenartich, Heads Athletics Award. Sebastian Magana, Calculus 12, Physics 11, Heads Academics Award. Vlad Mironov, Coding JavaScript 11. Emily Pavlis, Human Geography 12. Will Peary, AP Microeconomics 12, Political Studies 12, Heads Academics Award. Tate Stevens, Heads Athletics Award. Solange Stewart Hansen, Heads Arts Award. Julian Wan, Chemistry 11, Life Sciences 11, Heads Academics Award, Heads Arts Award. Calvin Watts, Heads Arts Award. Amber Weiss, Heads Athletics Award. Esme Yanowitz, English 11, Heads Academics Award. Congratulations to our grade 11 students. I now invite Ms. Mertland back to the stage to present the grade 12 award winners.
I hope you're doing a bit of a stretch in those transition times. Thank you, Mr. Wardrop. The grade 12s are a diverse group of scholars, artists, and athletes. They spent the year applying to post-secondary programs, mentoring younger students, serving the community with hours on dining hall duty and house duty, and looking for opportunities to come together as a grade to create memories that they can now take with them. In all of this, we want to recognize excellence because they are an impressive group. The grade 12 award winners are Tariq Al-Ansari, the Rame Award, Bright Anthony, the Nicholas R.B. Prouse Prize for 20th Century World History and Heads Arts Award, Robin Argument, Heads Arts Award, Roheen Arun, AP Music Theory, Afani Ayaduno, Heads Athletics Award, Ankit Bakshi, Heads Arts Award, Olivia Barsh, Heads Arts Award, Sloan Benoit, Heads Academics Award, Rasheen Buckley, the Ruth Bull Prize for Literature 12, Heads Arts Award, Ali Defoe, Heads Arts Award, Olin Dahlstrom, Heads Athletics Award, Tony Else, Geology 12, Hanno Furry, Heads Arts Award, Sarah Golding, Contemporary Indigenous Studies 12, Financial Accounting 12, Heads Academics Award, Blanca Grobelar, Heads Academics Award, Derek Harrison, the Jerry Pennell's Prize for Anatomy and Physiology 12, Chemistry 12, Bruce Tate Award for Physics 12, the Hugh Brackenbury Plate, Heads Academics Award, and Heads Arts Award. Sloan Jesse, the Judith Mason Award for AP Studio Art and Heads Arts Award. Dylan Kruger, Physical Geography 12. Brenna Lamb Kennedy, Heads Arts Award. Kiara Lee, the Harrison Company Scholarship for Law 12. Nicole Little, Heads Arts Award. Justin Liu, Heads Arts Award. Eric Long, Heads Athletics Award. Annika Maj, Heads Academics Award. Callum McAllister, AP Comparative Government and Politics, the Arthur Privet Prize for English Studies 12, Heads Arts Award, and Heads Athletics Award. Kennedy McDermott, Heads Arts Award. Zoya Molendina, Heads Arts Award. Jack Napier Ganley, Heads Arts Award, Heads Athletics Award. Adrian Roy, AP World History. Olivia Sass, AP Art History, Heads Academics Award, Heads Arts Award. Caleb Schoenig, Heads Arts Award. Gemma Selby, AP Psychology, Philosophy, Politics, and Economics 12. Elsa Stevenson, Heads Arts Award. Zosha Stevenson, Heads Arts Award. Abby Sullivan, Heads Athletics Award. Abdulaziz Umaryev, Advanced Topics in Math, AP Macroeconomics, and Heads Academics Award. Maddie West, AP Environmental Science, Creative Writing 12, Social Justice 12, Heads Academics Award, Heads Arts Award. Jake Wooldridge, Heads Arts Award. Congratulations to our grade 12 winners. Just as a reminder, come to the McNeil Center following the ceremony so you can collect your prizes. And now back to Mr. Patel.
Thank you, Mr. Wardrop and Ms. Mertland. Closing ceremonies is a day of mixed emotions. It is time to say goodbye and close chapters. And it's a time to celebrate consistent diligence over the entire year that bring forth excellence. Ms. Mertland and Mr. Sullivan, our two deputy heads, will introduce our major award winners, and the trophies are here. Before they do, and while I don't have two more trophies to give out, these two incredible leaders deserve our thanks, praise, and perhaps a trophy. As members of the COVID team, they, along with Mr. Burton, Mr. Shadlock, and Mr. McPherson, paved the way for us to not just be on campus, but to finish the school year without missing one in-person day. They were on the front line of interpreting ministry documents, crafting safety protocols, creating contingency plans, and on occasion, and mostly via email, receiving a wide variety of direct and sometimes very strong opinions on how we should really be handling things. And in advance, I thank everyone for their feedback. Throughout the journey, they remained laser-focused on keeping things normal, boring, and certain. So as a result, they are officially dubbed by the head of school as the coolest people on campus. And I invite them to present the 2020-21 major awards. Here's cool person number one, Mr. Sullivan.
Thank you very much, Mr. Patel. Yeah, I guess it's time for us to give out some hardware, as they say. Before we get to the major award recipients, I just wanted to personally thank Jack for his words today and for causing his old house parent to shed a small tear in the Ellis House way. Before I read out the major award winners for 2021, I want to take the opportunity to personally congratulate all of our students and their supportive parents and guardians who have gone above and beyond to help them achieve to the best of their abilities this year. Our school values of grit and joy continue to resonate in all aspects of what we do at Brentwood, and these values will be as important as ever for this group of young people as they progress in a post-pandemic world. And now, on with the show. All right, the grade 9 award winners. The Hogan Memorial Shield for the grade 9 student whose citizenship is unquestionable and whose leadership potential is couched within a positive personality. There are two runners-up, Sophia Shortis and Phoebe Killam. Our winner is Daniel Jennings. According to his house parent, Daniel is a kind, reflective, full of grit and positivity, always striving not only to do his best, but to help others around him achieve their best as well. Congratulations, Daniel. Next is the Davis Award for the grade 9 student whose impressive academic effort is complemented by a strong co-curricular contribution. The runners-up, Katie Lenarchich and Jillian Duda. And the winner is Simrit Surao. Simrit's house parent says she is a personable and hardworking individual. She's fun, dedicated, competitive, and an all-around impressive student who will continue to make a difference in the house and in the school. Grade 10, the Brentwood Trophy is given to the grade 10 student with an outstanding degree of selflessness, indicated by a strong desire to serve the community and the school as a whole. A runner-up, Schmitty to her friends, Lily Schmidt-Engelberts. And two winners, Avik Bakshi and Maxine Pollock. Avik is an endlessly cheerful and enthusiastic member of Privet House. He's always keen to give his all, whether in Privet or in the school at large, and in doing so has a positive effect on those around him. Maxine, new to our school this year, is a tremendous member of the Alexandra House community who leads by example in all that she does. She's authentic, hardworking, empathetic, motivated, and an all-around terrific person, so says her house parent. The Mackenzie Award, in honor of David Mackenzie, refounding headmaster of Brentwood College in Mill Bay from 1961 to 1976, for the superior academic student of the junior school. Two runners-up, Felicity Burrs and Ty Dahlstrom, and the winner, Thomas McDonald. Tommy's house parent has this to say. From day one, Tommy has thrown himself wholeheartedly into all things Brentwood. Though his fierce competitive streak can sometimes run a little hot, it is always tempered by his desire to be his best self in everything he does. The Eaton Family Award, established by Lynn Eaton, Chairman of Board of Governors from 1996 to 2001, is for the grade 11 student who shows integrity, initiative, and an appreciation for the opportunities provided by the Brentwood College tripartite program. Runners-up, Will Peary and Julian Wan. Co-winners, Anna Draper and Jacob Hart. Anna's house parent has this to say. Anna is a mature, caring, and loyal friend, often confused for a boarder in Allard House. Her presence around campus this year was delightful. She is hardworking and talented. Anna is a part of Brentwood's award-winning acoustic singing group and musical theater programs, also a skilled potter and volleyball player, making her a truly tripartite Brentonian. Jacob, hailing from Salt Spring Island, approaches all parts of his Brentwood program with equal enthusiasm, but more than anything, he's got great hair, but more than anything, he is a beloved member of Privet House and always ready for a well-timed quip, heartfelt conversation, or piano solo. Moving on to our grade 12s. First, the Michael Apadowitz Memorial Award. This is for a graduate who carries a courageous spirit of adventure and strong self-belief through a wide range of interests. The runner-up, a true success story for Brentwood, is Nicholas Puritz. Two winners, Olivia Barsh and Jocelyn Perkovic, two Alex House girls. Olivia possesses a natural charisma that draws people toward her like a magnet. She's witty, honest, kind, driven, and a terrific role model for the house. She's exceptionally talented, has many passions, and it's no surprise that she's a Triple Colors winner. And we'll hear from Olivia just a little bit later. Jocelyn was the 2021 grad president. She worked tirelessly, devoting herself to the grade 12 class this year, making every effort to provide special events and occasions for others in a year where it was just darn difficult to do so. She was energetic, thoughtful, creative, and didn't let any obstacle get in her way. Congratulations to Olivia and to Jocelyn. Next is the Kathleen Bryan Memorial Award, given by Kathleen Bryan, class of 1982, in loving memory of her mother, Kathleen, in recognition of the impact of a house parent-student-mentor relationship. This award goes to the graduate who, in response to Brentwood, ultimately demonstrates that close, meaningful relationships form the basis for personal growth and development. Our runner-up this year is Anthony Birkinshaw. Winners, Sydney Howe and Ben Zahner. Sydney is house captain of Mackenzie House, and throughout the year, she stepped up to the plate over and over again, giving back to the house through her organized manner, uplifting and energetic nature, and most importantly, her kind and selfless behaviors. Ben is house captain of Privet House. In a year full of ups and downs and seemingly endlessly shifting new normals, Ben has been a patient and steady leader for the boys in blue. His calm demeanor and dedication to the betterment of the house was much appreciated this year. Next is the George Killey Award, in honor of George Killey, class of 1964, visionary patron of the T. Gill Bunch Center for the Performing Arts and chair emeritus of the Vancouver Art Gallery. This award goes to the graduate whose aesthetic sensibility inspires others. This year's runner-up is Maddie West, and our winner, Zosha Stevenson. Zosha is the assistant house captain and Interhouse captain of Hope House. Genuine and determined, her house parent has appreciated her wisdom and thoughtful contributions to leadership of Hope House, especially this year. Ms. Hedquist also wants to mention that she will never forgive Zosha for scaring her by hiding inside a cardboard box and jumping out at bedtime. Next, we have the Ken Creer Memorial Award, given by Kenna Creer Manos in memory of her father, Ken Creer, the first student to be officially enrolled at Brentwood College in 1923. This award goes to the graduate whose athletic endeavors inspire others. We have two runners-up, Afeni Ayadiono and Roisin Buckley, and our winners, Santino Giulino and Solveig Curtis. Santino is house captain of Rogers House. A steadfast, loyal, caring, and reliable member of the community, Santino has redefined what it means to be a house captain in Rogers House and led our rugby team this year, despite all of the issues surrounding their practice and training. Solveig Curtis is Allard's assistant inter-house captain and captain of rugby. She's also a perennial force out on the water in rowing and keeps busy as a grad rep too. This spring, Solveig earned the Burroughs Cup for outstanding contribution to girls rugby, in addition to her senior athletic colors. Now I'm going to step aside and ask Ms. Mertland to come to the podium to present the next set of awards.
Thank you, Mr. Sullivan. I'm going to start with the Callan Family Award, where winners exemplify the qualities of being loyal, enthusiastic, buoyant citizens, caring of the community, and keen to do well academically, athletically, and artistically. The runner-up recipients for this award are Ankit Bakshi and Bonnie Zhang. Our first winner shows a resolute commitment to excellence, has a work ethic that is second to none, and is always willing to try new approaches to be at his best. Carl Draper sets an excellent example for his Rogers House brothers and the school as a whole. Our second winner of the Callan Family Award is Nicole Little, Hope House Captain. She worked endlessly on behalf of the house, bossing around her house parents to be sure that the girls in Hope were getting what they needed. And while doing that, she also earned a Heads Arts Award and academic colors. Congratulations to our two recipients. The Bruce M. Hicks Public Service Award is for a student who, through their action, has done the most to ameliorate the conditions of disadvantaged individuals or groups. Our recipient, Kiara Lee, helped others throughout the year by being willing to have conversations about controversial topics and provide a safe space for open dialogue. Her leadership in Omni allowed for the continued support of all students in our community and some excellent social events to bring people together. Thank you for your service, Kiara. The Peyton Trophy is awarded to a student who is an outstanding citizen in recognition of a strong contribution to both athletics and arts. The recipient of this award, Eric Long, exemplifies hard work and humility. Earning triple colors and a Heads Athletics Award is a testament to his contributions to the Brentwood program. His leadership on the pitch, in the music room, and in classes provided an excellent model of success. When you watch the second recipient of the Peyton Trophy dance or move on the soccer pitch, you recognize excellence. Also a Triple Colors winner, Alice Smith gave of herself to make the school year better for others. Not only as Alex House captain, but also in her classes and, as I said, in athletics. Her sphere of influence was led with humility and intent to create an excellent experience for each student with whom she interacted. The runner-up for this award is Shaylin Lettingham. As I read the description for the Powell Cup, I'm positive one grade 12 student will come to mind for pretty much everyone. It is for a graduate with an outstanding degree of selflessness, indicated by a strong desire to serve the community and the school as a whole. Yes, it perfectly describes Dylan Kruger. This sincere and compassionate young man led the Be Well initiatives this year with a determination to create more and more support for well-being on campus. In a year that presented extra challenges, Dylan's commitment to serve was much appreciated. A very deserving runner-up for this award is Sarah Golding. The Brentonian Shield is presented to a graduate who has encouraged a love of scholarship through either personal attitude and achievement or assistance to others. For students outside of grade 12 or Mackenzie House, it may be a surprise that our winner is Olivia Sass, as you know her as an enthusiastic events coordinator for the SEC in leading that group. Well, this young woman has many talents, and tutoring others, as well as keeping up with her own studies, are just two of them. And that's what makes her a deserving recipient. A Heads Academic and Heads Arts Award winner is further evidence of her abilities. Our second recipient of the Brentonian Shield is Tarek Al-Ansari. His outstanding work ethic and willingness to help others, not only in Whittle House, but also in classes, encouraged other students to keep trying when the schoolwork was hard. Earning academic colors solidified his excellence. And academics were in good hands in Mackenzie House because the runner-up for this award is Gemma Selby. Once again, when you hear that the Andrea Pennell's Cup is awarded to a graduating student who exemplifies empathy, compassion, and optimism as a global citizen, steward, and leader of integrity, there is only one name that can be associated with it: Adrian Roy, captain of Beat. Miss Hedquist summarizes it perfectly by saying, how Adrian's heart manages to fit inside her body remains a mystery. This young woman shows grit at every turn and is ready to have the tough conversations to gain a deeper understanding of someone's perspective when it differs from her own. Optimism? Look no further. From quarantines to U.S. elections to school events, the recipient of the Mary Brooks Law Award for a graduate who shows promise, strength of character, and personality could be no other than House Captain of Allard House, Alice Hill. Allard House values are strong, accepting, caring, and these perfectly describe Alice and her approach to leadership. Studious, motivated, and dedicated to all her Brentwood commitments, Alice earned triple colors, accumulated over 200 volunteer hours, and was the recipient of the Rollerball Shield for the Outstanding Chorister. Her contributions at SEC meetings will definitely be missed. Many of us have a strong sense of place when we think of home. Memories of growing up, family and friends, they all help to paint a picture. Well, the Holmes Cup recipient, which is awarded to a graduate whose outstanding citizenship exemplifies care for the school and the wider community, is awarded to Abigail Abby Sullivan, who truly grew up at Brentwood alongside Jack. Her positive approach and enthusiasm helped her lead us through a strange year with no competitive sport, which is a challenge when you're the assistant prefect athletics. The volleyball program benefited from her 100% commitment to train hard and develop a team in spite of no competition. Congratulations to Abby. And now I'll ask Mr. Sullivan to return to present the final major awards.
Thank you very much, Ms. Mertlin. The Bouchard Trophy, given to the Ducks, the leading academic student of the senior school. I am always in awe of the individuals who receive this trophy because I could never, ever think to achieve the academic heights that these individuals are able to do on a yearly basis. Runner-up this year was Maddie West with a measly 98.33% average. Congratulations, Maddie. But I don't think anyone will be surprised at the winner this year because ever since he came to our campus, he has lived and breathed academia. Derek Harrison is the Ducks this year with a 98.67% average. Derek's house parent says that he is a consummate academic, guided not only by his love of learning, but also by his desire to improve the learning of others, but always with a smile and enthusiasm. To Privet House, he is perhaps the most appreciated for last-minute fixes of the router and printer. Fitting. Thank you very much, Derek. Next is the T. Gill Bunch Cup. In memory of T. Gill Bunch, faculty member from 1961 to 1993, assistant headmaster from 1966 to 1991, presented originally in memory of Forrest Rogers, the class of 1934, governor 1961 to 1972, and board chair from 1962 to 1971. This award is for a graduate who displays, in addition to scholastic and artistic excellence, stability and strength of character together with a willingness to serve. I couldn't think of a more appropriate recipient than this year's winner, Sloan Jesse. Sloan is the assistant head prefect for arts. Her dedication to the Brentwood Arts program is immeasurable, earning her academic and arts colors, in addition to being named co-artist of the year. Sloan's 2D and clothing creations filled the spaces of the arts building and also were Miss Emile's treasured desires, actually. Never one to shirk responsibility and always one to lend a hand and be a friend to all, Sloan's calm, cool, and collected approach was greatly appreciated around the halls of Allard House and Brentwood. Congratulations, Sloan. Next is the William T. Ross Trophy. And with a heavy heart, I read that this trophy is in honor of the late William T. Ross, faculty member from 1962 to 2000, headmaster from 1976 to 2000, and a mentor for me and for many others who have taken on this mantle at Brentwood. This trophy goes to a graduate who displays outstanding leadership, stability, and strength of character, together with a willingness to serve. This year's this year's recipient is Maher Aurora. Miss Mertlin says about Maher's example helped set a tone of dedicated scholarship in Rogers House this year. He remained positive even as he faced 2 quarantines and long stretches without leaving the Brentwood campus. With no study blocks, he gave up personal time in order to serve our school in any way that was needed. And Mr. Snow calls him Maher the Magician. I'm sure that there's an inside joke there. He's a gentleman and a scholar who makes everything happen seamlessly, but personifies the spirit of industry in what goes on behind the scenes. We will miss you, Maher. Last award of the day is the Yarrow Shield, presented by Norman Yarrow, founding governor of Brentwood College School in Brentwood Bay in 1923. This award goes to the graduate who displays, in addition to scholastic and athletic excellence, stability and strength of character, together with a willingness to serve. I don't think anyone is surprised to see our winner, Jack Napier Ganley. Mr. Wismer speaks of Jack. He says that COVID-19 pandemic robbed Ellis House of being able to see Jack as much as we had hoped this year. As a lead in the musical, top-level soccer player, and a leader in the school, Jack had to be extremely organized and efficient with his time, which he was. He has many natural gifts, but the best part about him is that he is also unbelievably hardworking and humble. He goes to those he trusts for guidance when he feels it's needed, and he invests incredible amounts of energy in all of his pursuits. I could not be more proud to call him a member of Ellis House. With that, I congratulate all the award winners this afternoon, and I pass it now to Mr. Patel.
Thanks to that very cool duo. The valedictorian is chosen through candidate presentations, followed by a vote of the graduating class. It can be challenging selection, as the speaker is tasked to be equal parts thankful, reflectful, and entertaining. As a lifer, Olivia Barsh has wowed us with her creativity with words, mellowous recitations, and flair for the stage. It is, however, her love of the school and her kindness that sets Olivia apart. Brentwood, please welcome the 2021 valedictorian from Alex House, Olivia Barsh.
There has always been a strict foundation in which we follow a passing of a so-called torch, a tradition, a ceremony. Since the dawn of time, students, future pillars of society, have gone through a renownedly civil education system to come out on the other end with congratulations. We are given a tiny slip of paper that says, "Thank you, good job for sticking out for the past 12 years or so." Because everybody knows when children are at their most awkward and vulnerable stages of life, we must put them in a room together. Nothing like trauma proves that you are a functioning member of society. And as the years whittle down, and teachers start getting more comfortable with the idea of a prison sentence and multiple charges of homicide, for nothing could be worse than trying to get a group of teens in a room with a main character complex to listen, we were prepared by Mr. Patel's routine existential speeches, letting us know that the hourglass of grit and joy was in fact running out. Like it or not, the year is coming to an end, like a meteorite plummeting closer and closer to Earth. The message gets more urgent as the year progresses. At this rate, we are one step away from debt, divorce, and finally dying alone. But Brentwood students can withstand anything with our avid outdoor skills, proving to the dismay of house parents, but the expectations of the science department, that life does in fact find a way. Sure, one might look at Grad 2021 as the phoenix that rose from the ashes, the ones that got back what last year's had lost. We navigated the perils of the school year with the creativity of Hope House, the strength of Mac, the lovable humor of Privet, the classiness of Alex, intelligence of Rogers, the character of Allard, and Ellison Whittle. We were able to make it. And here we are, graduating, and we actually get to walk across a stage, or roll or crutch across said stage, proving that the arts stairs are more of a liability than the rest of campus. Frankly, we're just happy we get to hold a trophy for 5 minutes before handing it back, rather than just looking at it through a screen. I came to Brentwood in grade 9, knee-high to a grasshopper, and fresh out of Montana, USA, heart still full of wonder, unaware of Mrs. Mays's wrath in the Alex Way hallways. Rude child. And my email box left untouched by the passive-aggressive emails from uni counseling. I was unfamiliar by the strange land of Canada that had such foreign commodities as free healthcare and ketchup chips. I found myself in a place that seemed basically perfect. I was surprised by how accepting and loving the community was. Brentwood is a place where students can be themselves. As I grew older and started getting those passive-aggressive emails from uni counseling, I started to see things differently. Things, actions, people that once seemed perfect weren't. We have seen injustice in the world, and it doesn't make sense. Our class was pushed to a point where everything was so negative that the only choice we had was to be nothing but utterly positive. Students here remind us of people that fight and help when no one is listening, that stick up for things when it's not trendy, when it's not celebrated. I have learned as a student the importance of stepping back and listening and letting others have the chance to communicate. As fellow grads have taught me that sometimes the best thing to do is stop and learn from others. I will end with this. Thank you to the Health Center. You deserve your own awards ceremony for everything you do. Thank you to laundry for keeping us clean and maintenance for keeping this campus beautiful. Thank you to the kitchen staff for keeping us fed with delicious food and making meals special. Thank you to the teachers for putting up with our shenanigans and being amazing educators. Thank you to our house parents for keeping us respectable. Thank you to the COVID team and administration for being amazing and doing all you do. Thank you to our loving parents, families, and guardians for all your support. I love you, Mom and Dad. Thank you for always supporting me. Thank you to my little brother Toby for keeping it weird. And finally, thank you, Grad 2021, for sticking it out and continuing to be amazing and bright. Besides Charlotte, she's still concussed.
Thank you, Olivia. Right on the mark. One of the most revered and historical trophies on our campus is the Interhouse trophy. Oftentimes, house competitions can even supersede the fervor of battle against other schools. The pride, passion, and loyalty to one's house are foundational elements at our school. So this year, what will it be? A five-peat or an upset in the making? I invite Mr. Sullivan to reveal the ending of this year's Interhouse story. Mr. Sullivan.
Thank you, Mr. Patel. We all know what I'm here to unveil, the Stanley Cup of Brentwood. I know that I will not do it in the same manner as Miss Hall in years past, where she used to shed a tear every once in a while when she'd come up here. But here goes. I must say that this year, it was one of the closest races of all time, from fourth to first. But without further ado, let's get on with the show. In fourth place, Rogers Allard. In third place, Alex Whittle. And the drum roll to unveil the 2021 Interhouse champions. In second, so close, but not quite, Privet House, Privet Hope. So for the fifth year in a row, Mac Ellis is the Interhouse champions. I used to think it was me, but clearly it's been too long since I was house parent of Ellis House, and it's not me, it must be them. Congratulations, Mac Ellis. And now on to Mr. Patel. I'll keep this.
You can keep that. Keep that.
Someone just screamed.
I can hear them screaming right now. So congratulations to Mac Ellis. The final act, before I get to the final act of the closing ceremonies, just a reminder of some instructions that Ms. Mertland and Mr. Wardrope and others have given you. If you won a book prize, you were to go down to the balcony, I think outside of Crooks Hall, I'm looking at it right now, and pick up your book prize or your medal or your pin that was announced for that. The academic prizes we're referring to. If you're a major award winner, you will go there first. Let's say you won a book prize as well. You'll go there first, pick up your prizes, then come down here, and Mr. Sullivan and I will be here to present those prizes. There'll be pictures taken up there and pictures taken out here. So at the end of this ceremony, please come down if you've won an award today. At this stage of the ceremony, I would normally invite this year's SEC to join me on stage to pass the torch to next year's leaders. Instead, following this ceremony, invite them down, along with next year's SEC that I announce, to the amphitheater to embrace each other and formally do the torch passing. So as tradition dictates, as head of school, the final act of our closing ceremonies is the announcement of next year's Student Executive Committee, or SEC, that is made up of the head prefect, assistant head prefects for academics, arts, and athletics, and that makes up the executive of the SEC, and house captains from all 8 houses. There are also 5 ex officio members of the SEC: the Brentwood Environmental Action Team, the BEAT, Student Activities Committee, SAC, Be Well, Graduation Committee, and Open-Minded Non-Discriminatory Individuals, or OMNI. Beginning in April, we invited grade 11s to apply for leadership roles. Once endorsed by their house parents, the students and faculty were polled. Senior leaders, including house parents, reviewed the data and recommendations were made to my office. I applaud those that took the courageous step of putting up their hand and being willing to serve their school. In a few moments, the graduating class of 2022 will accept the torch that is passed from this year's grad class. And in advance, I thank all the candidates for their leadership. Di Manu in Mano. So at this time, I'm honored to announce next year's SEC members. For Omni, next year's captain is Eric Erickson. For the Beat, next year's captain is Harbelneet Nana. The grad president for next year is Philip Akindipe. The Be Well captain for next year is Emily Nimmo. SAC captain for next year is Anna Draper. Now on to the house captains. In Alexandra House, the house captain for next year is Justine Cox. For Allard House, the house captain for next year is Gabby Casals. For Ellis House, the house captain for next year is Trekker James. For Hope House, the house captain for next year is Lisa Maricusa. For Mackenzie House, the house captain for next year is Rory Peters. For Privet House, the house captain for next year is Nathan Onasanya. For Rogers House, the house captain for next year is Stephen Gashbickler. And for Whittle House, the house captain for next year is Cameron McNeil. Now, the 4 executive positions. The assistant head prefect for athletics for next year is Jocelyn Lenarchich. The assistant house captain for arts is Robin Cole. And the assistant house prefect, for academics is Will Peary. And the 2021-22 head prefect is Jacob Hart. Congratulations to all of those winners. Thank you for attending this year's closing ceremonies, and congratulations to all the worthy recipients of the major awards and leadership roles. As a reminder, all award winners, ones read out by Mr. Sullivan, Mr. Wardrop, or Miss Martland, are to meet on the amphitheater or at Crooks Hall after the close of this ceremony to receive their prizes and take some pictures. As head of a school, I can proudly close the 2020-21 school year. We did it. Until we meet again in September, farewell from Brentwood College School.